You ever look around and realize that nobody's coming to save you? Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Nobody's going to hand you the life you dream about. Because that's the truth. Nobody cares. You can cry. You can complain. You can shout at the world for being unfair. But it's not going to change a single thing until you get up and decide to change it yourself. People might clap when you win, but they won't carry you there. They won't stay up with you when you're tired. They won't grind with you when you're broke, and they won't fight your battles. That's your job, your responsibility, your story. This world doesn't care about excuses. It respects execution. It doesn't care how hard your life is. It only notices how hard you fight through it. You say you want success, but are you willing to suffer for it? Are you willing to work while they sleep, to bleed while they talk, to sacrifice when no one even believes in you? Because that's what it takes. This isn't about motivation. This is about transformation, about deciding that no matter how dark it gets, you'll keep swinging. No matter who walks away, you'll keep walking forward. No matter how heavy the weight gets, you'll keep lifting. You'll keep lifting it. Because that's what separates the talkers from the doers, the dreamers from the achievers, the ones who make excuses from the ones who make history. You got to stop waiting for someone to notice you, to believe in you, to cheer for you. Stop expecting people to understand your vision. They won't, because it wasn't given to them. It was given to you. That's your burden. That's your purpose. And if you really want to change your life, then stop playing soft. Stop hiding behind comfort. Get up and grind like the world owes you nothing, because it doesn't. Every single goal you have will demand a version of you that doesn't complain, doesn't cry, doesn't quit. It will demand your discipline, your hunger, your obsession. This isn't about proving them wrong. It's about proving yourself right. About showing the world that when life tried to break you, you built yourself instead. Every scar, every failure, every late night, that's your story. That's your power. You don't need applause. You need action. You don't need validation. You need vision. You don't need sympathy. You need strength. So the next time you feel alone, remember this: nobody cares. But that's your advantage, because when nobody cares, you're free. Free to grind in silence, free to fail and rise, free to build something that nobody saw coming. That's how you win. Not by waiting, not by wishing, but by working harder, louder, stronger, until the world has no choice but to notice. Nobody cares what happened to you. Nobody cares how unfair life has been. Nobody cares how tired you are. And that's exactly why you need to work harder. The moment you accept that brutal truth, everything changes. The moment you stop waiting for sympathy and start taking responsibility, you take your power back. Because here's the truth: nobody is coming to fix your life. Nobody is coming to pick you up off the floor. The world doesn't owe you a single ounce of compassion for your struggle. It owes you nothing but opportunity. And that opportunity only shows itself to those who are willing to get up and grind when everyone else is sleeping. Life is not kind. It's not fair. It's not gentle. It's raw and demanding. But if you can learn to face it without needing applause, without needing a shoulder to cry on, without needing someone to understand your pain, then you're already ahead of most people who are still crying for help that will never come. Ha! You have to understand this. It's not that people are cruel. It's that everyone is fighting their own battles. Everyone's dealing with their own pain, their own stress, their own insecurities. The world is busy. People aren't ignoring you because they hate you. They're ignoring you because they're trying to survive too. So when you waste energy complaining that nobody's helping you, you're already losing. The energy that could have been spent building your future is being burned on self-pity. Every second you spend telling your story of why it's hard is another second you could have been writing a new one through action. The difference between the successful and the broken is not luck, it's ownership. One group blames, the other builds. One group cries, the other creates. Taking responsibility is not about guilt, it's about power. When you say it's my fault, you're not admitting defeat. You're unlocking control. Because if it's your fault, that means it's your choice. That means it's your move. That means you can change it. And that's the most dangerous position to be in. When you stop waiting for someone to fix you and decide you'll fix yourself. You start waking up earlier. You start studying harder. You start practicing more. You start showing up even when no one notices. You stop being the victim and start becoming the warrior. You realize nobody's watching your pain, so you make sure they'll see your rise. You turn the silence into fuel. You turn the doubt into drive. Life will test you. You will face moments where it feels like nothing's working, where nobody supports you, where all your effort feels invisible. But that's the process. That's the moment the weak quit and the strong are born. That's the difference between those who complain about being overlooked and those who make themselves impossible to ignore. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for things to get easier. You start getting stronger. You stop asking, oh, why me? And start saying, try me. You stop waiting for motivation and you start building discipline, because the truth is nobody's going to clap for you at the start. Nobody's going to pat you on the back when you fail. But when you succeed, when you break through, they'll pretend they always believed in you. That's the game. Don't get angry about it. Use it. When you take responsibility, your mind transforms. You stop feeling like life is happening to you, and you start realizing life is responding to you. Every action you take plants a seed. Every hour you put in builds momentum. Every setback you endure builds muscle. You stop being reactive and become proactive. You start living with purpose instead of pain. You stop asking for comfort and start demanding greatness from yourself. Because you understand that greatness isn't given, it's earned day after day, through effort that no one sees, through nights that no one celebrates, through pain that no one understands. You realize that while others are waiting for support, you're building your own foundation. While others are waiting for validation, you're building evidence. While others are waiting for opportunity, you're creating one through sheer persistence. That's what a nobody cares. Work harder truly means. It's not cold, it's liberating. Because once you stop needing people to care, you become unstoppable. You don't rely on motivation, approval, or recognition. You start grinding for something deeper, for your name, your future, your peace, your peace. You start working because you made yourself a promise that you'll never quit, no matter how silent the journey gets. You'll keep moving forward when it hurts, when it's lonely, when it's dark, because you've learned that the pain of discipline is always better than the pain of regret. And here's the truth that separates the few who rise from the many who complain. The world eventually respects those who never ask for sympathy, but earn their respect through consistency. People may not care now, but they'll have no choice but to care later when your results are too loud to ignore. So stop talking about who didn't support you. Stop waiting for perfect condition. Stop blaming your past, your parents, your environment. The world doesn't owe you comfort, it owes you challenge. And that challenge is what builds you into the person capable of carrying the dream you keep talking about. There's power in pain if you stop running from it. There's wisdom in struggle if you stop resisting. Every time life knocks you down, you have two choices: complain about it or get back up and prove that nothing can keep you there. Every single great story started with a person who was ignored, doubted, underestimated, and they used that silence as motivation. They worked harder not because someone told them to, but because they refused to stay average. They refused to let their story end in pity. So stop waiting for a savior. Stop expecting sympathy. Stop crying for help that's not coming. Instead, build yourself strong that you become your own hero. Turn the pain into power, the doubt into energy, and the struggle into strength. Work when it's hard. Work when it's unfair. Work when nobody's watching. Because one day when you finally make it, you'll realize that the world never had to care. The only one who needed to care was you. Hard work is not about talent. It's not about luck. It's about how much pain you're willing to endure for what you believe in. Everyone says they want success until they realize how heavy it feels to carry that weight every single day. Everyone loves the dream, but very few love the grind. The truth is, success doesn't care about your potential. It only responds to your consistency. You can have all the gifts in the world, but if you're not willing to outwork everyone, you'll always be stuck watching those with less talent but more discipline take the crown. The grind is not glamorous. It's lonely, repetitive, and often invisible. It's waking up early when no one's awake. It's pushing through exhaustion when your body screams for rest. It's showing up when your mind says quit. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. When you grind, truly grind, you start to understand that there's no such thing as overnight success. There are only long nights and early mornings that no one sees. There are years of doing what others won't so you can live like others can't. The grind is not about working when it's easy. It's about pushing through when it's brutal. It's not about feeling good. It's about doing what's necessary. The people who make it in life don't wait for the perfect move or the right motivation. They move regardless of how they feel. They built a relationship with discomfort so strong that pain becomes a normal part of their routine. You've got to be willing to look crazy for a while, to be misunderstood, doubted, laughed at, because success requires sacrifice long before it rewards you with results. Grinding means betting on yourself when no one else will. It means going all in when everyone tells you to quit. You have to understand when you commit to a vision, not everyone will see it. Not everyone will believe in you, and that's okay. The grind was never meant to be shared. It was meant to test you. It's a private war between you and the old version of yourself. Every day you're either building your future or breaking your potential. Every time you choose comfort over discipline, you trade what you want most for what you want now. Fuck otherwise. And the grind doesn't forgive weakness. It exposes you. It shows you exactly who you are when the motivation dies, when the support disappears, when the pressure builds. That's where the truth comes out. Most people think they're working hard until they meet someone who's obsessed. Obsession changes everything. When you become obsessed with your dream, the grind stops feeling like punishment. It becomes purpose. You stop counting hours and start chasing progress. You stop looking for balance and start chasing greatness. Because deep down, you know, this is what it takes. You can't half-step your way into excellence. You can't casually walk into the top. The top is reserved for those who gave everything. Those who worked while others rested. Those who stayed focused while others were distracted. Those who refused to settle when average became easy. And here's the truth. There's no shortcut to this. You can't fake work ethic. You can't post your way to greatness. You can't wish your way to success. Every second you waste complaining is another second someone else is outworking you. Every excuse you make becomes another brick in the wall that keeps you from your potential. You have to understand that the grind doesn't care how you feel. It only rewards effort. So stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for someone to push you. Get up and push yourself, because when you really want it, you stop making excuses and start making sacrifices. The grind will break you down before it builds you up. It will test your patience, your endurance, your belief in yourself. There will be days when you'll question everything, your plan, your purpose, even your worth. But that's the price. The pain you feel today is the investment for the strength you'll have tomorrow. Every failure is a lesson. Every setback is a setup. Every moment of doubt is a chance to grow deeper. Most people quit right before they make it because they can't handle the grind silence. They can't handle putting in work with no immediate reward. But the grind is not about instant gratification. It's about long-term elevation. You have to fall in love with the process, not just the prize. Because the process is where champions are built. It's where you find your limits and destroy them. It's where you meet the version of yourself that refuses to quit. Every time you push past comfort, you grow. Every time you choose to show up, even when it hurts, you're proving to yourself that you're built for this. The grind builds character. It builds resilience. It builds identity. It teaches you that nothing worth having comes easy, and that the harder it gets, the closer you are to breakthrough. When you embrace the grind, you start respecting time differently. You stop wasting days because you realize how precious each one is. You stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. You start working not for approval, but for impact. You stop caring about who's watching and focus on becoming undeniable. That's when things start shifting. Because once you outwork your excuses, your results become inevitable. Once you replace laziness with discipline, average becomes impossible. Once you realize that every second counts, you stop living like you have forever. The grind doesn't guarantee success, but quitting guarantees failure. The grind doesn't promise happiness, but it gives you peace. The kind of peace that comes from knowing you gave everything. That you didn't waste your potential. That you didn't let fear win. Because at the end of the day, success is about what you got. It's about who you became. And when you work hard every single day, you become unrecognizable to your past self. You become the kind of person who can handle success, who can carry responsibility, who can inspire others just by how you move. You've got to understand, the grind is not punishment, it's preparation. Every early morning, every late night, every lonely hour of work is shaping you into someone who can handle the dream you've been praying for. Because the truth is, if success came easy, you wouldn't respect it. If success came without sweat, you wouldn't sustain it. You've got to earn it through pain, through pressure, through persistence, so keep showing up. Keep grinding when no one's watching. Keep believing when it's quiet. Because one day the results will speak for you. Hard work is the equalizer. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you've been through, or what you lack. If you're willing to grind harder than anyone else, you'll find a way. The grind doesn't discriminate, it rewards discipline. So don't waste another moment waiting for life to get easier. You're not supposed to wait for the storm to pass. You're supposed to learn how to work through the rain. Every rep, every hour, every setback is building you for something greater. So lock in, put your head down, and get to work. Because while everyone else is talking about what they want, you'll be out there earning it. And when that day comes, when your work finally pays off, you'll know it wasn't luck. It was grind. That there comes a point in life when you have to stop expecting someone to hand you a reason to work. You have to stop looking for outside motivation, stop waiting for validation, stop begging for someone to believe in you. Because the truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to push you. Nobody is coming to push you won't face. You have to become the reason. You have to become the reason. The fire has to come from within. The hunger has to be personal. Every time you wake up, you have a choice to move like a victim or a victor. And the difference between the two is simple. One waits for life to happen. The other makes it happen. The third key to this mindset, to outworking every doubt, is to take full ownership of your effort, to grind not for attention, but for elevation. When you realize that the work itself is the reward, you stop caring about who's watching, who's clapping, or who's hating. You just move with purpose because that's who you are now. When you make the work personal, it changes everything. You stop working to prove others wrong, and you start working to prove yourself right. You stop chasing validation, and you start chasing progress. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and you start creating them. The moment you realize that your destiny is your responsibility, that no one else is accountable for what you do with your time, your energy, your gifts, that's the moment you take control of your life. Because when it's personal, you stop half-stepping. You stop saying, maybe tomorrow, and start saying it now. You stop blaming your past, your pain, your circumstances. You start owning everything, your wins and your losses. You start seeing failure not as shame, but as fuel. Every time you fall, you get back up fast, stronger, more determined. That's what ownership does. It builds resilience that no one can give or take away. Most people lose because they give their power away. They give it to doubt, to fear, to other people's opinions. They let circumstances dictate their grind. They wait for permission to go all in. But the ones who win, the ones who rise above the noise, are the ones who realize that no one owes them anything. Life doesn't owe you recognition. It doesn't owe you success. It doesn't owe you fairness. The world is not waiting to reward you. It's waiting to test you. Every challenge you face is a question. How bad do you want it? Every setback is asking, are you still hungry when it hurts? Because anyone can grind when it's easy, but can you grind when it's silent? Can you grind when you're tired, when you're broke, when you've been doubted by everyone you know? That's the real test. You can't fake work ethic. You can't fake consistency. You can't fake hunger. The results will always reveal what you've really been doing when no one's watching. That's why you must build a relationship with effort itself. You must learn to love the work, not just the outcome. You have to crave the sweat, the struggle, the slow climb, because that's where character is formed. It's not about how many people cheer for you. It's about how many days you keep going when nobody does. Real greatness is silent. It's built in the dark when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when you're questioning whether any of it is worth it. But that's the moment when you become unstoppable. When you choose to keep going, not because it's easy, but because it's yours. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Nobody's going to chase your dream for you. Nobody's going to put in the work for you. So stop expecting them to. Stop wasting time hoping for help. Stand up, take ownership, and start grinding. Because when you do, when you finally decide that you're done waiting, done blaming, done doubting, that's the day your whole changes. That's the day you stop wishing for success and start earning it. And when you earn it, when you build it with your own hand, there's no better feeling. Cause you'll know deep down, no one gave this to you. You created it. You worked for it. You owned it. There will come a time when everything in you wants to stop. When your body aches, your mind doubts, and your spirit starts whispering, maybe this isn't for you. That's when the real ones separate themselves from the talkers, from the pretenders, from the ones who only grind when it's convenient. Because the fourth key to this journey, the one that defines champions from quitters, is to keep showing up every single day, even when the world gives you no reason to. It's easy to be excited when everything's working, when the sun is shining, when you're winning. But when it's dark, when it's silent, when your efforts seem invisible, that's when the truth about who you are is revealed. The question isn't whether you can work hard when you feel motivated. The question is, can you keep pushing when you don't see progress? Can you keep grinding when you don't feel inspired? Can you keep believing when everything in your life screams that you should stop? The world doesn't reward people who almost made it. It doesn't celebrate those who started strong but gave up when it got hard. It celebrates those who kept showing up when it made no sense to. Every legend you've ever admired had moments where quitting would have been easier, but they refused. They got up one more time. They pushed one more rep. They believed one more day because they understood that consistency beats intensity when intensity fades. You don't have to be the most talented, the smartest, or the most gifted. You just have to be the one who refuses to quit. Because sooner or later, the world has to give in to someone who won't stop showing up. Every time you choose to show up, you build discipline. Every time you fight through fatigue, you strengthen your mind. Every time you silence your excuses, you rewire your brain for greatness. The grind doesn't just build your career, it builds your character. You learn patience in the waiting, resilience in the struggle, and faith in the uncertainty. The very moments that feel like they're breaking you are actually building you. And the truth is, the ones who win aren't necessarily more skilled, they're just more consistent. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They make every moment count. They don't need ideal conditions. They create conditions through effort because they understand that greatness isn't found in bursts of inspiration. It's built in the repetition of effort, day after day after day after day. You can't just talk about it. You can't just post about it. You can't just dream about it. You have to live it. You have to breathe it. You have to grind when you're tired. You have to push when no one's cheering. You have to keep going when it feels like no one even notices. That's the mindset of a winner. Because while most people stop when they're tired, champions stop only when they're finished. That's the difference. It's not about feeling ready. It's about staying ready. It's about developing an inner toughness so strong that no rejection, no failure, no delay can make you quit. See, there's power in persistence. Most people underestimate what consistency can do because they want instant gratification. They want results today, not realizing that the seed doesn't bloom the day it's planted. The seed must first grow roots. It has to survive the storms underground before it ever sees the sunlight. And that's you right now, buried, grinding, invisible. But just because they can't see your growth doesn't mean it's not happening. You're building roots. You're becoming stronger, more grounded, more prepared. And when it's time, you'll rise. Not because luck picked you, but because consistency built you. When life hits you, when plans fall apart, when the people you thought would support you disappear, that's not your signal to stop. That's your test. Life is asking, how bad do you want it? You say you want success, but do you want it bad enough to be uncomfortable for it? Do you want it bad enough to sacrifice for it? Do you want it bad enough to work when everyone else is sleeping? Because that's what it takes. You can't skip the struggle and expect to keep the success. You can't take shortcuts and expect to stay strong. Every rep, every late night, every failure you endure, it's all sharpening you for the victory that's coming. The truth is, nobody is watching as closely as you think they are. Nobody's keeping score of your small wins. But that's okay, because the grind isn't supposed to be public. The grind is personal. It's between you and the dream. It's between you and the standard you set for yourself. The results will come when the time is right. But until then, your job is simple. Don't stop. Don't stop believing. Don't stop working. Don't stop growing, because the moment you stop, the dream starts to die. The second you ease up, your progress fades. The people who make it aren't always the most talented. They're the ones who keep moving when others stand still. You have to build momentum, and momentum doesn't come from once in a while effort. It comes from daily repetition. It comes from small actions done consistently, even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early when you want to sleep in. It's studying when your friends are partying. It's practicing when no one's watching. It's showing up when your body says no, but your purpose says yes. That's the kind of hunger that turns ordinary into extraordinary. Because once you develop that discipline, that ability to act regardless of emotion, you become unstoppable. You no longer depend on motivation, you run on commitment. And commitment is stronger than any feeling. If you want to win, you have to master the boring. You have to master the ordinary. You have to do the same things over and over without losing focus. Because the truth is, success is repetitive. Growth is repetitive. Discipline is repetitive. The grind isn't glamorous. It's gritty. It's doing the unseen work that no one celebrates. But one day, all that invisible effort will become visible success. And the same people who ignored you will say you're lucky. But you'll know it wasn't luck, it was the result of every single day you showed up when they didn't. You can't negotiate with your goals. You can't take days off from your dream. Every day you rest from your purpose. Someone else is grinding to replace you. Every time you skip a step, you delay your breakthrough. You can't cheat the grind. It always knows. And the grind rewards those who respect it, who commit to it, who honor it. That's why you must learn to fall in love with the process, not the praise. Because when you do, you'll never lose motivation. You'll live in momentum. You'll move from I hope I make it to I'm going to make it because I refuse to quit. This is what it means to truly rise. It's not about being loud. It's about being relentless. It's not about being seen. It's about being consistent. It's not about doing it for others. It's about doing it for yourself. Every morning you wake up, ask yourself, did I do enough yesterday to get closer to where I want to be? And if the answer is no, then make today count. Because the day you stop showing up is the day your dream starts dying. But the day you decide that no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets, you're going to keep showing up. That's the day everything starts changing in your favor. When you refuse to quit, life eventually bends in your direction. The world moves for those who don't stop moving. It respects persistence. It rewards resilience. It honors consistency. So whatever it is you're chasing, keep showing up, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when it feels pointless. Because it's not pointless, it's preparing you. The work you put in today is building the strength you'll need tomorrow. So keep grinding, keep showing up, keep going, because the ones who keep going are the ones who eventually win. So let me leave you with this. Life doesn't reward the ones who almost made it. It rewards the ones who refuse to give up. Every second you breathe is another chance to push, to rise, to rewrite your story. You've got dreams that still haven't been touched, goals that are waiting on you to stop doubting and start doing. You've got potential sitting deep inside you, screaming to be unleashed, but it's waiting for one thing, your decision to keep going when it hurts, when it's quiet, when no one's clapping. When no one's clapping, that's the test of your character. Not how loud you talk about success, but how consistent you are when it feels like no one cares. Because the truth is, every moment you feel like quitting is the exact moment that's shaping your strength. Every tear, every rejection, every failure, it's not a wall, it's a lesson. It's life saying, show me how bad you really want it. And when you answer with action, when you stand tall, even while breaking inside, that's when you earn respect. Not just from others, but from yourself. The world won't hand you greatness. It'll make you fight for it. But once you decide that you'll never stop showing up, no matter what's thrown your way, then nothing, and I mean nothing, can break you. This journey isn't about speed. It's about endurance. It's about waking up every day and saying, I'm not done yet. It's about keeping that fire alive, even when the world tries to pour water on it. You have to learn to protect your energy, your mindset, your vision, because the world will test you. It'll whisper that you're not enough, that it's taking too long, that maybe you should settle. But that voice is a liar. You're not behind. You're not late. You're in progress. Every second you fight through doubt and every day you choose discipline over comfort, you're becoming something the old you could only dream of. And when that moment comes, when you finally break through, when the doors open, when the results start to show, you'll realize something powerful. It was never about the destination. It was about who you became in the process. The nights you stayed up grinding, the mornings you dragged yourself out of bed, the days you pushed through the pain, those were the moments that built you. That's what greatness is. Not perfection, not luck, but consistency, grit, hunger. So if you're watching this right now, don't you dare stop. Don't you dare let your potential rot in the shadow of fear. You've come too far to quit. You've struggled too much to give up now. Look yourself in the mirror tonight and remind yourself, you are not done. You are not broken. You are becoming. Keep showing up. Keep fighting. Keep going. Because one day when it all pays off, you'll look back and realize every ounce of pain was worth it. And when that day comes, you won't just be proud of what you achieved. You'll be proud of who you became.